How's things going? Good. What was it like this season? Obviously, we spoke ahead of the season about the goals, and would you say that it's fair that maybe it was you overachieved as a team? You almost doubled your points tally from your first season back in.
Yeah. I mean, we knew we was building a good squad. When you decide to recruit younger players, you're going to have periods where there's going to be ups and downs. I feel the biggest thing that surprised me last year was the way that we responded to negative results, which I felt was fantastic. So when we lost the game, we went on a run to get ourselves back in it. But yeah, I mean, we finished where we did on merit. Did we overachieve? Probably. But, you know, we earned that right, and everyone, staff, players, worked incredibly hard to, you know, to have the success that we had last year.
And like I say, almost doubled the points tally in the WSL. I think the goals swing in goal difference was over 20-25 goals.
Yep.
So what's the goals for this season? What's the expectation? You know, is it that next natural step to go and push for Champions League space?
Yeah, I think that's obviously got to be the next step. We know it's incredibly tough to break into the top three with what the top teams are spending, but it's not always about the money. I think we proved that last year. Obviously, with how we performed and where we finished. So yeah, look, every year we want to improve on what we did the year before, and that's the main goal to start off with, and then we'll see where that can take us.
And how big of a role did the move to Melwood have in that, you know, improved performance and maybe the exceeding of expectations last year?
Yeah, no, it made a massive difference. I think if you look at the nutrition we've got here, and I've said it time and time again about the recovery, and then on top of that, the training pitches. I mean, we had a fantastic relationship with Tranmere, but at times we were ringing around trying to get pitches at times to train because of obviously where it is and the weather. But yeah, no, it's made such a difference. I mean, there's no excuses for me, my staff, my players. You know, we've got a world-class facility to train and prepare for games.
And what's it like for the players, you know, especially new signings when they come in and they see the facilities that Liverpool women's team have here?
Yeah, it certainly helps with the recruitment. I think for me, it's the most important thing. This is your foundation, this is your base, this is where you do all your work. And you know, as I said, the support from the club's fantastic, and the facility enables us to be able to perform at the highest level.
There's been some moves in the transfer market this summer, not least quite a big signing in Olivia Smith.
Yep.
Tell me about, you know, what your expectations are for her. She's obviously a young player, but one who's clearly very talented.
Yeah, she's got everything, but she is young, and she's gonna. It'd be interesting to see how she adapts to the Super League. But I'm confident she'll be fine. You know, but you don't play for your country at 15 years old if you're not a good player. She's quick, can score goals, right foot, left foot, very powerful, and she's keen and hungry to learn. So yeah, like we're really lucky. There's a lot of clubs that were in for her, but we sort of hit it off. Me, her, family. It was really good conversations, and I'm excited to have her here.
And obviously, there's quite a lot of competition for places up front now.
Yeah.
Do you see Olivia being as more in the forward line or sort of an attacking midfielder?
Probably the forward line. I mean, she gives me tactical flexibility. Obviously, she can play as an 8 or a 10. She can play as a winger or as, you know, a central player. So for me to have that flexibility, whether we play a 5-3-2 or a 4-3-3 or a 3-4-3, we've got that flexibility with the players that we've brought in. I think if you look at Cappy, she can play down the middle, she can play wide. So yeah, we've got all different types of forwards now, which is great.
And on the other side, there was a big departure, Missy Bo. Just tell us about the sort of the reasonings behind that, how that came about.
Bo wanted to go. She wasn't happy with her game time last year. She was professional. We had numerous conversations. We didn't want her to go. Sometimes you have good years, sometimes you have indifferent years. But ultimately, we wanted to put the person first in this case. She had a contract here for another 2 years. And I think one thing that resonated with me, one of the conversations where she said, all I know is Liverpool, my house is 5 minutes from the training ground, my nan's 5 minutes from the training ground. And I think for her own personal development, I think she wanted to try something new. I'm sure Bo will come back to the club. You know, her love for the club, you know, is second to none. So, yeah, it wasn't something that we wanted to happen, but we respected her wishes, and you know, we wish her all the best.
This season then, obviously the club have announced that 3 games against United, City, Everton will all be at Anfield. Anfield hasn't been the greatest for the women's team when they have performed there, so obviously looking for getting kind of that monkey off the back this season, I guess. Yeah,
we need to. We definitely need to, for sure. You know, we've got 3 obviously tough fixtures there. No, I think the more we play there, the more familiar it becomes for the players. I think sometimes when you're playing in the main stadium and it's just a one-off game, it becomes a bit of a leveller. And I think from our perspective, I spoke about Prenton Park and what a fortress it was for us. Teams didn't like going there, but Everton loved coming to Anfield. So, and I think it gives you that little bit of added pressure as well as the home team. So, yeah, no, we the more games we play there, the more comfortable we become.
You spoke there about Prenton Park and obviously the move this summer to St Helens, to the Totally Wicked Stadium.
It's a fantastic move for us. Obviously it's on Merseyside, it's a red stadium. It's a modern stadium as well, so it means that for the fan experience we could do a lot more. And I think it would enable us to grow the fan base as well. So yeah, no, we're looking forward to the move. It's probably going to be our biggest challenge, I think, is settling in there ourselves and making St Helens what Tranmere Rovers was to us.
And you know, that sort of move following on so closely after the move to Melwood, I guess that shows again the commitment that this club has to women's football in general.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think every year we look to improve on everything that we do. You know, obviously we had Melwood last year, St Helens this year. Obviously we've increased the staffing as well. So yeah, we always want to make sure we're not standing still, we're moving forward. And I think from that side it's vitally important.
And just finally, I've asked you this before, but to see if the message has changed. If there's somebody who hasn't been out there and watched Liverpool women's team play before, what would be your message to them?
As I always say, I mean, we're a committed team. I think we have a fantastic bond, staff, players with our fan base. And I don't really think you get that anywhere else. You definitely don't get it in men's football. And I just think from our perspective, we're improving every year. The product on the pitch is getting better every year, not just Liverpool, but the Super League in general. And yeah, it's an exciting time to come and support the team.